Friday was the practical class, and Naruto threw 5 empty targets as usual. This time, he simply didn't aim at all, and just flicked 5 rounds, and then went straight to the next one. Teacher Iruka gritted his teeth angrily, but the system rewarded him with 30 bad points. Naruto also learned to be smart, whether it's trash or genius. As long as I can't hold onto the wall, sooner or later I will turn into a puddle of mud. After school at noon, Naruto has to stay and clean up because he is a student on duty. Naruto sweeps the floor, and quickly sweeps his own area. Throwing the broom, Naruto ran away. With the end of the system's sign-in countdown, Naruto just walked to the school gate. Ding dong. Sign-in completed. Sign-in location, Konoha Shinobi School, time spent, 4 hours. Sign-in reward, Second Hokage Senju Tobarama Random Skill Pack 1, Bad Performance plus 55. It seems that the character has exploded today. The bad points obtained by signing in were 55. Naruto opened the skill pack and saw that it was water style again. He is also not sure now, whether he can get forbidden technique after signing in at the ninja school. It would be nice to have water style, why think so much? Among other things, he was already much better than the original body. You don't have to worry about eating and drinking, and you can increase your strength every day. What else do you want? The system beeped, and Shenyu Bao received 30 again. Naruto hooked his mouth and walked out of the school with his head held high. But he had just stepped out of school. Naruto. A naive voice sounded, passionate and unrestrained. It's a bit early to leave school today. Are you ready to enjoy the scorching youth in the afternoon? Naruto stopped walking. Ah, the guy is still there. The students around looked over curiously. Naruto looked at the gatekeeper ninja standing not far away. But I found that the other party didn't even look at it. At the same time, the familiar feeling reappeared. Third generation, I started watching him again. Well, Naruto sighed. It seems that the third generation project has been explained. Looking at guy who was like a big fool in front of him, Naruto's eyes became tangled. Rejection should be useless. Hide, it seems that you can't hide. Naruto thought about whether there were other options. Not at all. His opponent is not Might Guy, but third generation. What third generation wants to do has not failed so far. The Senju back then said nothing. Once Hokage's half-sleeved White Fang committed suicide, and his son had to continue to work for Konoha's senior management. The fourth generation succeeded in less than 2 years, and even Kushina died in battle. The countdown to Uchiha's genocide is about to end, and Itachi is about to become the target knife of the third generation, cutting off his entire family. The will of fire was completely understood by this Hokage. Burn all, light myself. Now he wants to fight against the third generation. No play. That's the only way to go. There is no other choice. It's still just Might Guy now. If he insists on doing his own thing, he won't know what will happen later. Even if he just wants to show off. Back then, White Fang was still focused on his companions, but in the end, didn't he kill himself for his son? Never mind. If you don't resist then, I'm ready. In the future, please give me more advice. Naruto looked back at Might Guy, who gave up. Followed. Isn't he just a Might Guy? Third generation has scruples, so he just needs to cooperate. You stick to your youth, I continue with my shit. A lot of advice, mutual progress, come on. Ding dong, it's a success. Get 30 bad points. Guy looked at Naruto in front of him, suddenly his eyes lit up. Really? Are you really ready, Naruto? Are you finally starting to experience real youth? Yes, please begin. Naruto resigned himself to answering. Yo shrimp. Guy immediately jumped 3 meters high on the spot. Then before lunch, let's have a passionate pre-dinner practice. Spray your sweat all over Konoha. See you at Hokage Rock. Whoosh. Guy straight up his thighs and started running. The surrounding students all stared wide-eyed. This person must be crazy. Naruto looked at the back of Guy running away, and then looked in the direction of home. Regret now, is it too late? Never mind. I just didn't try to sign in at Hokage Rock, so let's go and have a look. Naruto walked forward with his head buried. He didn't intend to run over there, he hadn't had lunch yet, and he didn't have the energy. But not a few steps, Naruto suddenly caught the attention of another guy. It is also a watermelon head, wearing a mandarin jacket, looking into the distance with adoring expression. Is the direction Guy left? This is Lee? Naruto has a weird expression on his face. 1 grade higher than them, he is one of the future Konoha 12. There are also many brilliant performances in the early stage of the animation. For example, Chunin taught Sasuke a lesson before the assessment, Gaara nearly defeated Shukaku in a one-on-one fight, Drunken Fist fought Kimimaro for 300 rounds, etc. Under normal circumstances, this is Guy's true personal disciple. Unfortunately, because of the purpose of third generation, it seems. Naruto's dead fish eyes suddenly lit up. He quickened his pace and walked towards Xiao Li, and under the latter's bewildered gaze, he patted his shoulder heavily. Student, do you want to experience the hot youth? What did you say? Irrigate youth with sweat, ignite blood with youth. Naruto pointed to the direction where Guy left. Do you want to practice with that senior and start to experience real youth? I think. Xiao Li Baofeng nodded on the spot, but soon became unconfident again. But that senior, will you be willing to teach me? Go away, classmate. Naruto looked sincere. So, now you rush to Hokage Rock and tell that senior that Uzumaki Naruto has gone to cook. Today's youth is for you to experience, come on. Quite clever. In Hokage's office, third generation chuckled and turned off the crystal ball. He lit the cigarette pouch and began to puff. Soon, third generation's eyes became deeper. Naruto. Third generation murmured. The kid has changed a lot lately. From being weird at the beginning, he suddenly became a little world-weary. He has no desire to express himself, and he often fishes until late at night. Third generation remembers that this kid used to be very afraid of the dark. Is it because of age, a little mature, or this kid? Know what? Call. After puffing out his cigarette, third generation rubbed the space between his brows. Old. It's easy to think too much when you've experienced too much. That was a 6-year-old child after all. Now that Guy has successfully contacted. Then observe it for a while. The kid inherited his father's talent. I believe that in the future, he will become an excellent ninja like his father. Hello. Naruto. This way. Naruto secretly finished his meal and just arrived at the bottom of the Hokage Rock, when he heard Guy calling him from above. Well. Naruto sighed. After fooling Xiao Li over, he originally planned to go home. However, third generation kept staring at him, and didn't look away until he confirmed his departure. He was too lazy to fight wits and courage. Anyway, I can hide from the first day of the junior high school but not the 15th day. This time I just came to Hokage Rock to experience the sign-in. Naruto's current template is already Chunin. The amount of chakra is enough, but the chakra will not attach yet. So if you want to go to Hokage Rock, you have to go hiking. Fortunately, the distance is not too far. Naruto didn't take a few steps before he heard the system's prompt. Ding dong. A special sign-in location has been detected, start to sign in. This check-in time, 10 minutes, Naruto's footsteps paused. The special check-in location should refer to Hokage Rock. The sign-in standard of the system is relatively loose, and the sign-in can often be started after reaching a certain range. But this time, the sign-in time is only 10 minutes. Very strange. Naruto raised his eyebrows, a little expectant. In the suburbs, you can still sign up for the most basic 3-body technique, but when you come to Hokage Rock, it will not be bad at all. Could it be 4 Hokage skill packs? If it was first Hokage, it wouldn't be wood style. Naruto quickly opened the system space to check. I specifically looked for the part with more zeros, and I didn't see that product until I dragged it almost to the end. Blood successor boundary. Wood style, pure, selling price, 3,500,000 bad value. 10 million. 3.5 million, hehe. Naruto pouted, he shouldn't have counted those zeros. If you have accumulated 3.5 million worth of bad performance, then is it still bad performance? That kind of mess has a purpose. Is soulless. Anyway, Naruto doesn't expect to save enough money for wood style someday. Or the 3-hook jade is more reliable, it's only worth 5,000, cheap and easy to use. Just can't buy one alone, because he bought it for Izanagi. Ding dong, it's a success, get 30 bad points. The system sent a congratulatory message. Naruto walked all the way up, and soon, he saw 2 watermelon heads. Xiao Li was lying on the ground doing push-ups, while Guy stood aside and cheered loudly. One more, Li. Okay, teacher Guy. Spray sweat, this is what youth looks like. Okay, teacher Guy. Does your youth only have this temperature? Believe in yourself, Li. Okay, teacher Guy. Broken sound. Watching this scene, Naruto suddenly didn't want to move forward. Well, a hard look. However, this is Xiao Li's ideal state, right? I met Guy in advance, and now I have called the teacher. If there is no accident, Li will be wearing the same style of training uniform as the teacher in 2 days. Training clothes. The corners of Naruto's eyes twitched. For some reason, he suddenly imagined how he looked in a little green suit. She has blonde hair and a close-fitting little green dress. He suddenly wants to go home. So, third generation, can you change someone to torture me? I can play dumb, I can play pranks every day, I can insist on being Hokage every day. Naruto stopped, already considering whether to go home directly. But just when he was hesitating, ding dong, sign in is complete. This check-in location, Hokage Rock, time spent, 10 minutes. Sign in for 30 days, you can get 1% random Hokage template. Currently continue to check in, 1 day. Naruto was stunned. 30 days, give the Hokage template, this seems a bit fierce. Naruto began to calculate quickly in his head, 1% for 30 days at a time, if you sign in for 6 years. He can get up to 80% of a certain Hokage template. Of course, that's just theory, but even with the average of 4 Hokages, it is close to 20%. Not to mention the other Hokage, but for one first-generation item, 20% is outrageous. Take Yamato for example. Yamato can only display 10% wood style of the first generation. But just wood style. Operation Orochimaru collapsed Konoha, and Impure World Reincarnation came out with first generation and second generation. Both have only 1/10 of their strength in life, and are still limited by Orochimaru's mind. But even then, the fighting power is still off the charts. At this moment, Naruto was excited. This is still the case after signing in for 6 years. Then sign for 10 years. At that time, how will Pain fight? Naruto, your youth is too hot, and the adults of third generation are right. Lee has done 300 push-ups for you, next, 500 sit-ups. On this Hokage Rock, let's do it together. I'm going to cook for you. Before I come back, I hope you have sweated enough. Add oil. Guy, running on his Hot Wheels legs again. Xiao Li struggled to get up, he was exhausted, but his eyes were full of excitement. Thank you, Naruto. Xiao Li stretched out his hand with a sincere expression on his face. Thank you for letting me meet Mr. Guy. Teacher Guy let me know what true youth is. It turns out that hard work and sweat are the temperature that youth should have. Thank you. Naruto stretched out his hand, but was thrown by Xiao Li. The master and apprentice are extremely compatible. Naruto squeezed out a smile, he can be regarded as the beauty of an adult. Then next. Li, you got to know Mr. Guy relatively late. Next, you have to work harder. Naruto patted Xiao Li on the shoulder and said, even mine, let's do it together. Xiao Li's eyes lit up. Is it possible? Is it really possible, Naruto? Of course, helping each other is also part of youth. Thanks. With tears in his eyes, Xiao Li did sit-ups crazily. Naruto nodded in satisfaction. Youth, how can you grow without experiencing flickering? Come on, Li. Sit on Hokage Rock and look into the distance. Below is Yan Yan of the Hokage of the past dynasties. From afar, he is now sitting on the head of the 4th generation. Not to mention, looking down on Konoha from this angle, it really has a different feeling. Naruto put his hand in front of his eyes, and gently squeezed it. Everything seems to be in hand. Just keep signing in like this, maybe you can get the Boruto biography. Naruto smiled and shook his head. The children of prophecy are gone, and the ending of Shippuden as Infinite Tsukuyomi, so how can there be any Boruto legend? He's serious. I haven't been here before Hokage Rock, and I haven't found such a special check-in place. 10 minutes a day, and give Hokage templates for a month. I thought that ninja school plus 8 sign seal space, signing in for 10 years and nothing else, at least can save my life under Pain's hands. Forced to Infinite Tsukuyomi, but now, Pain may not have seen enough by then. That being the case, he doesn't have to worry about it anymore. At that time, I will honestly lie down to Infinite Tsukuyomi and enter the finals with my strength. With my constitution at that time, I'm afraid I can dream decades longer than others, right? Naruto smiled confidently. And then again, if you sleep in Infinite Tsukuyomi, you should be able to sign in, right? Ding dong. Successfully placed badly. Salted fish treasure income, 30 bad value. The practice during the day lasted all afternoon. It was already 8 o'clock when Naruto got home. He is certainly not as crazy as 2 watermelon heads, but even so, the amount of exercise is seriously exceeded. After returning home, taking a shower and going to sleep, Ninetales was awake when entering the 8 trigram space this time. He was staring at him. "Sorry, it might be a little noisy today. I'm sorry to disturb your rest." Naruto apologized in seconds, and then began to realize the big bed, quilt, and earplugs. Ninetales didn't bother with him. I don't know if it was broken. Anyway, after Naruto fell asleep, he didn't hear the roar that was weakened by 99%. The communication between Jinchuriki and the tailed beast has been reduced to 0. The next day is Saturday. Early in the morning, Guy knocked on the door. Naruto cannot wake up before 8 o'clock, because his consciousness is in the 8th sign seal space. But when Naruto woke up, he found that he had been dragged away by Xiao Li. Literally, Guy found a big board for Naruto. Naruto was lying on the board and sleeping soundly. Xiao Li ran forward with Naruto. It can be called devil training. Xiao Li tried his best to collapse, and finally pulled Naruto to the top of Konoha, the top of Hokage Rock. His reward was a green one-piece training suit, and Naruto can only be received after overcoming the difficulty of getting up early. Naruto couldn't be more grateful for that. He will definitely work hard to sign in, so that the set of little green seals will collapse until Konoha collapses. Time flies. According to the purpose of 3rd generation, Guy also accepted an apprentice while training Naruto. Also, as Naruto expected, in the past month, Guy has only given them various exercises to strengthen their bodies. But he didn't start practicing martial arts. Naruto checks in every day. During the day it is ninja school and Hokage Rock check-in, and at night it is 8 trigram space. Saturdays and Sundays will be more difficult, and Guy will take the 2 of them to the outskirts of Konoha for a day of training when Guy is not on a mission. If there is a mission, the 2 will be assigned a training plan. Naruto definitely refused. Youth also needs rest, and the youth of Shenyu lacks a lot of sleep. "I'm so tired from Monday to Friday, why can't I sleep on weekends? So I often show my face for a symbolic sex, and then give my youth to Xiao Li." Xiao Li is very grateful for this. With Naruto's youth on his back, I feel that my practice is more powerful. That's all. Before I knew it, a month had passed. It's noon this day. Naruto walked up Hokage Rock with 2 meals. Today is Saturday. Guy went on a mission, leaving behind a training mission. So Naruto slept until 12 o'clock and saved enough 4 sealed space gift packs. Run to the Hokage Rock. There are still 2 minutes left for the system to complete the countdown. This is the result of Naruto's practice in the past month. He had walked up close to 10 minutes earlier. Walk up now, it only takes 8 minutes. The results are very remarkable. It's time to eat, Xiao Li. Naruto yelled. In the small forest behind the Hokage Rock, Xiao Li, who was hanging on a tree and doing sit-ups, responded immediately. "It's still 15, even yours, together. Please wait a moment." Naruto silently started cooking. Xiao Li is really reliable. He deserves to be a man who is qualified to wear a special training uniform. Unlike him, if you don't overcome your habit of getting up late, you won't be able to wear training uniforms. Well, very nice. Today's lunch is very rich and nutritious. But it was not produced by the system, but Guy paid for it and asked Naruto to buy it. I have to say that Guy may seem a single-minded person, but he is indeed a responsible teacher. Just being willing to spend money to buy food for the 2 deserves Naruto's praise. Building a healthy body requires a lot of nutrition. This little money may not be worth mentioning to Guy who can perform the task, but the money in Naruto and Lee's pockets is definitely not affordable. It's almost time. Naruto glanced at the system while eating. It's only a minute away. Hokage Rock has been signed in for 1 month. Hope is not the purpose of 3rd generation. Naruto looked forward to it a little. 3rd generation project, known as the strongest Hokage in the early days of animation. But in fact, this is obviously the result of this self-promotion in the ninja school textbook. As a salted fish, taking shortcuts is what Naruto is after. Preferably 1st generation, 2nd generation, 4th generation. 1st generation has wood style and fairy art. The 2nd generation project also has immortal constitution, and the first-hand water style and forbidden technique are not far behind. Whether the 4th generation project is stronger than the 3rd generation project is open to debate. The 3rd generation order may be stronger than the 4th generation order in the young period. But the combat power of the 4th generation must be divided into pre-death and post-death. Before he died, he tried his best to hold Konoha, split 9 tails in 2, and force 8 sign seal. Immediately after death, 9 tails chakra plus sage mode is a miracle. But anyway, the highest priority is definitely the first generation item. Finally, the countdown is over, a system prompt appears. Ding dong, sign in is complete, this check-in location, Hokage Rock, time spent, 10 minutes. Sign in for 30 days, you can get 1% random Hokage template. Currently continue to check in, 1 day. Get a special sign in reward, random Hokage template 1% asterisk 1. Coming. Naruto put down the lunchbox and wiped his mouth, and opened the gift bag with a sense of ceremony. Get the cage level template, Pinnacle Senju Hashirama 1%. Available. After use, you will get 1% character template attributes and special abilities, which will be fully integrated within 30 days. Skills cannot be obtained. It can be disassembled. After dismantling, you can get the Peak Senju Hashirama experience card for 1 minute, 500 bad value. Naruto was shocked. Wiping his mouth, he actually hit it? Naruto doesn't say anything, just click to use it. The system is indeed quite humane, and it can even be decomposed. However, the things given after decomposition are a bit confusing. The 1 minute experience card of the Peak Pillar is only worth 500 bad value? Only fools broke it down. Ding dong, you have used the cage level template, Peak Senju Hashirama 1%. The integration will be completed within 30 days, and the increase in personal attributes has already arrived. The system beeped, and immediately after that, a line of transparent prompt borders appeared. Naruto's eyes widened, it turned out to be a reminder after the template was promoted. You have been promoted to Special Jonin. The upper limit of each bad value acquisition has been increased to 35. Promotion conditions. Each attribute reaches 1000, and masters 3 LV5 skills. Naruto was startled. He has accumulated a lot of bad points this month, enough to be promoted to Special Jonin. But I was worried that progressing too fast would reveal my feat, so I kept holding back. But who would have imagined that a 1% Big Pillar template would directly advance him to the next level? Naruto quickly opened the personal system interface. Host. Uzumaki Naruto. Current plane, Hokage World. Current template. Special Jonin. When each attribute reaches 1000 and masters 3 LV5 skills, it will be automatically promoted to the Jonin template. Personal attributes. 3. Constitution Energy, 937. Amount of Chakra. 1019 Psychic Energy, 930 Buff. Eye of Salted Fish. Buff. Salted Fish Punch Card. Buff. Salted Fish Treasure. Store Bad Value, 3407. Salted Fish Value, 34 Personal Skills, 9, 3 Body Technique LV3. Advanced 3 Body Technique LV1 Unlocked Skills, 7. Chakra Attributes, 3, Wind Attribute LV1 Water Attribute LV1. Earth Attribute LV1, Infusion, Blood Succession Limit, 1. Wood Style LV1, Infusion, Special Items, 1, 8 Sign Seal Space Spree * 107. Personal Permissions, 2, this. There are too many things. Naruto looked around and felt that there were more words than what he saw in the ninja school this month. The reason for promotion to Special Jonin was found. Chakra amount, soared directly to 1039, breaking through the Special Jonin template in one breath. Other attributes are also on the verge of promotion. I can only say that it is worthy of being a big pillar, 1%, tisk tisk. Naruto sighed again and again, although it does not give skills. Only 1% of the 3-dimensional attributes and special attributes, such as Chakra Attribute and Blood Succession Limit. And it hasn't merged yet, but the promotion given to him can only be described as outrageous. Just like this, the 3-dimensional attributes have soared so much. Not to mention Wood Style, which is still infusion and stuff. Naruto is rejoicing now. I haven't set foot on Hokage Rock once because I'm completely bad. So, God will always open a window for you, but you have to take the initiative to close a door. Anything, as long as you work hard, you will not be too bad luck. He is a completely bad guy who can be manipulated by others. No, it's almost Jonin soon. Now, it seems that the skills are lacking. Naruto grumbled. He never thought he had any strengths. After all, it can't even be badly placed. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been targeted by the 3rd generation, causing him to eat on this mountain now. But that's the way it is now. The 3LV5 skills have become a stumbling block for him to advance to the Jonin template. Especially Jonin didn't give the buff. Naruto is still looking forward to the buff from the Jonin template. But there is no rush. Naruto clicked on the unlocked skills. After the Big Pillar template unlocks the water attribute chakra, a lot of Tobirama's water style can be used. Naruto saved for a full month, but not too much. Either in variety or in quantity. In addition to the tailed beast bomb, Naruto has no activated water styles, a total of 6. Water Rush Wave, Water Barrier, Water Dragon Bomb, Water Severing Wave, Hard Vortex Water Blade, and Water Bomb. They are all water style, and they are advanced by Tobirama. However, Naruto can only sign in at the school up to 8 times a week. In addition, there are occasional rewards for other auxiliary ninjutsu, so the number of deposits is not large. The Hard Vortex Water Blade was the most. He remembered that there was a week before, and it came for several days in a row. A total of 10 LV1s, and then Water Dragon Bomb, there are 8 LV1s. The skill upgrade rules of the system are very simple. The same ninjutsu of 2 LV1 can be upgraded to LV2. 2 LV2 can be upgraded to LV3, and Naruto speculates that the same goes up. Of course, there are more normal ways to upgrade. For example, study hard and practice hard, except Naruto won't. Your B-level water-style Water Dragon Bomb has been upgraded to LV3. Your Grade A water-style Hard Vortex Water Blade has been upgraded to LV3. Your Level B water-style Water Barrier has been upgraded to LV2. System prompts appear one after another. Naruto combined everything that can be synthesized. He doesn't lack bad points now, let alone improve attributes. In fact, the template of the Big Pillar is increased, although the strength has increased, but Naruto's bad plan has also been affected. He really wanted to be a good for nothing, but now that his strength has suddenly exploded, if he doesn't pay attention in life, it will inevitably reveal his secrets. He accidentally beat up Sasuke last time. As a result, Might Guy got into his house and stood at the door for a day. If it weren't for his good habit of getting up late, he would have to wear a little green tights now. If you're not too unlucky, next month should be enough, right? Naruto continued to eat. Xiao Li seems to be stuck in the last 15 tree hanging sit-ups and hasn't come out yet. But at this time, snapped, Naruto frowned suddenly, and the chopsticks in his hand broke in two. 24680. Why are there so many people? The skyrocketing spiritual attributes increased Naruto's perception range a lot. A large number of Anbu were gathering here. Naruto remained calm and pretended not to know. It's useless to know. That's Anbu, behind it is the 3rd generation order, and it's the whole Konoha. What can he do? Besides, he has honestly been picked up by the 3rd generation project. Almost put on Guy's little green bodysuit. 3rd generation project, what reason is there to concoct him? Even if you really want to concoct him, just be patient. Anyway, I can't resist now. Naruto continued to eat. But when he was about to grill the rice, he found that there was only half of the chopsticks in his hand. This Constitution's power has increased to 937, but it's not just the number that has changed. The corners of Naruto's eyes twitched. Is this what troubles Superman? A 6-year-old body with Jonin-level strength. One by one Anbu hid in the woods behind Naruto. There was no contact, and even a distance was maintained. Naruto recognizes this state, it seems, it's surveillance. No. Naruto raised his eyebrows, his surveillance period has passed. Count the time. Konoha's protagonist at this time is not him, Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Naruto. At this time, Xiao Li can figure it out. Limping, it hurts to watch. Come on Li, eat quickly, it's not cold yet. Thank you. Xiao Li sat down on the ground, and opened the lunchbox regardless of his image. The tangy fragrance swept away the tiredness on his face. Dinner. Naruto sits on the Hokage rock, looking at the sky. The sky was still clear in the morning, but now a dark cloud suddenly ran over the sky. The whole Konoha was a little depressed. Naruto looked towards the Hokage building. There, it seemed that someone was also watching him. Clack clatter, not long after, light rain fell down. It's raining. Xiao Li, who was eating, froze for a moment, then continued cooking. Rain can't quench the enthusiasm of youth. Yes, it's raining. Naruto said softly against the breeze. Anbu in the woods behind him is not here to watch him. It was to protect him. A naive genius has fallen. Another guy who is about to bear the darkness and is about to make a choice. Konoha, the sky is about to change. Konoha, Hokage building. Itachi knelt on one knee with the mask on, and looked at the child on the Hokage rock with his hands behind his back. Since Shisui's body was found, the pace of Uchiha's preparations has increased. They have armed most of the Uchiha elite. Recently, there has been a proposal to capture the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Itachi reported everything he knew in detail. Third generation stared at the bong and puffed out a cloud of smoke, and the smoke covered his eyes. There are some things, even if Itachi doesn't report it, he knows it clearly. Itachi's information was timely and accurate, but don't forget that Anbu's intelligence control over Uchiha has been going on for decades since the second generation. Conservation of the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Arrangements had already been made long before Itachi's arrival. Shisui's death, did you find out anything? Third generation axe. This is the key of the problem. When Shisui left the Hokage building that day, he went with the mission of changing the entire Uchiha. But also after that day, Shisui, all of a sudden there is no news. When he was found, he was already dead. Both eyes were gouged out, and the pair of Mangekyo with the strongest illusion disappeared. Uchiha also suddenly began to accelerate preparations. Not yet. Itachi lowered his head, his tone and eyes were as cold as ever. But judging from Uchiha's performance, the one who killed Shisui should not be inside Uchiha. The movement of third generation breathing out smoke paused. His eyes were hale and hearty, but he couldn't see what he was thinking. As Hokage, some things he knows, some things he doesn't know. Even if he knows some things, he can choose to pretend not to know. Like now, third generation turned around and looked at Itachi. Tell me what you think, Itachi, our time is running out. Monday at 8 o'clock. Naruto saved 2 more gift bags and got up. My whole body is sticky and uncomfortable, but it was much better than when I woke up yesterday morning. The sheets were dark and hard. The surge in constitution is not necessarily all a good thing. For the past 2 days, his whole body was itchy, and his body temperature remained high. Naruto took a shower. Nothing happened to unscrew the faucet. The 2-day adaptation period, plus the improvement is not so outrageous. Naruto is now probably adapted to the energy of more than 900 constitutions. Stand in front of a mirror. Still skinny, but really full of muscle. The pectoral muscles are hard, and the abdominal muscles are 8 packs. There is no way to tell that it is a 6-year-old salted fish. Tisk. The hair is growing again. Naruto started rubbing his head. Minato's genes began to emerge. The hair on the temples is already very long, if it weren't for the pair of dead fish eyes and a world-weary face, plus the 6 beards on the face. Not to mention, it's 70% similar to Minato, so handsome. I don't know how the original body kept that silly hairstyle. Still, look at yourself in the mirror. Naruto soon thought of another person. Uzumaki Noodles, son of Minato in Tsukuyomi only. A blackened Naruto who didn't grow up eating distinguished heavenly gods and brainwashing packages. That guy should be the correct way to open Naruto. I have accepted hatred since I was a child, a proper villain script. Ordinarily, blackening should be normal, but like a fool, he is inspired to become a Hokage. But it doesn't matter if it's a silly version or a blackened version. Those have nothing to do with the current Naruto. He is the rotten version of Naruto, the son of a rotten son who inspires to sign in and sleep at Infinite Tsukuyomi. After getting dressed, Naruto pushed open the door. The rain has stopped. It's already October, with one autumn rain and one cold. Everyone outside has put on their coats. But Naruto didn't feel the slightest bit of cold. It feels very comfortable to have a cool breeze. Still, he went back to the house and found a coat. If you want to enjoy the rotten salted fish life, you have to pay attention to details. The more common the better, the more normal the better. Last month's end-of-month exam, the first place was Uchiha Sasuke, full marks, everyone applauds. Clap clap clap, Sasuke-kun is the best, it turned out to be a full score. Is there anything in this world that Sasuke-kun can't do? Sasuke came to the stage to get the test paper, and seeing the perfect score, he couldn't help but curl his lips slightly. When returning to his seat, Sasuke seemed to pay attention to the last row of the next class by accident. HMPH, sleeping again. It seems that he has really given up everything except physical skills? An excellent ninja can do more than just excellent physical skills. Watch it. When I beat you in every way, you'll know what real Uchiha is. Second place, Narashikamaru. 0.97 points. Teacher Iruka said, however, I was too perfunctory when answering the questions, so I can't just write the answers in the future. Shikamaru. Shikamaru? Shikamaru, who was sleeping, was stabbed by Ding Zuo, and then he woke up in a hurry. With sleepy eyes, he just glanced at the test paper in Teacher Iruka's hand, and probably guessed the situation. Good teacher. Shikamaru took the test paper. Teacher Iruka continued to roll the roll. Finally, came the last one. The paper is neat and tidy, and the main title is blank, just like new. Only a few symbols were written crookedly on the name. Naruto. Don't even bother to write the name. The corners of Iruka's eyes twitched, glanced at Naruto. Today, I also slept soundly. Naruto, unbearable. Iruka shouted Naruto's name. But Naruto didn't respond. He didn't sleep well last night, and he wanted to skip class today. Hateful. It's been a month, you sleep every day, can't you wake up for a day? You handed in nothing, Naruto. Iruka still couldn't hold back, picked up the chalk eraser on the table and threw it over. In the eyes of the whole class, the chalk eraser drew a beautiful arc in the air, and then snapped, accurately picked up by Naruto. Iruka's eyes widened, and the classmates in the class also stared in disbelief. But it's not over yet. Naruto unconsciously exerted force on his palm. Snapped. Another sound, but this time, the chalk eraser was crushed by Naruto with one hand. This. Iruka was startled. Although chalk erasers are not very hard things, it is not difficult for adults to crush them, let alone ninjas. But the problem is, Naruto is a 6-year-old student. And it's the kind at the end of the crane. Could it be that senior guy's training worked? As the first teacher appointed by third generation to Naruto, Iruka knows that guy is training Naruto. Just don't know the specifics, now it seems. Naruto. So scary, he crushed the chalk eraser. It's scary, he doesn't want to fight against Iruka-sensei, does he? What a violent man. The class crane tale is not worthy of applause. The students chattered. Hinata also looked back nervously, muttering Naruto's name. Forehead. And at this time, Naruto, who looked confused, finally woke up. First glance at Iruka, then he glanced at the classmates around him. There was also the deskmate who moved aside unconsciously. Finally, his gaze returned to the chalk eraser in his hand. This. Naruto was stunned. He had no idea what was going on, but he could guess why it happened. He found out yesterday. With the integration of the first generation project template, he can improve more than just attributes. Response, perception, and various forces have all been greatly improved. He looked at the chalk eraser in his hand, then at Iruka. Naruto sighed. Today, I really shouldn't have come to school. Sorry, Teacher Iruka. Naruto quickly stood up, bowed and apologized. I didn't sleep well last night. The same excuse Iruka had heard badly before. But this time, his eyes were more serious, not only him, but Sasuke as well. From such a long distance, you can catch it accurately without looking, and you can crush it directly. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. If it was a shuriken just now. That's right, the subject that this guy has practiced recently must be related to fighting shuriken. Hateful. Do you want to use this method to widen the gap between us? Don't think about it. Sasuke secretly decided in his heart. When Big Brother comes back, no matter what, let him teach me shuriken. And it has to be the Uchiha-specific kind. Master 3rd generation. This is what Naruto did in class today, please take a look. Lunch break. Worried, Iruka came to the Hokage building again. The 3rd generation who is eating fast food is a little unclear. What's this? 3rd generation stared blankly but didn't recognize what this thing Iruka brought over. Is it the work of handicraft class? Pretty abstract. Until Iruka told what happened, I don't quite agree with senior guy's approach. Naruto is now at the bottom of the list. If things go on like this, Naruto may give up studying completely. Even if he can graduate from the ninja school in the future, he might not be able to pass the Chunin assessment. Master 3rd generation, please pay attention to it. Iruka said in a deep voice. 3rd generation looked at the torn chalk eraser, and then there was a flash in his eyes. I'll talk to Guy, Iruka. This matter was the old man's oversight. The old man apologizes to you. Iruka was taken aback. 3rd generation project adults don't need it, I just. You are a good teacher, Iruka. 3rd generation said with a puff of smoke. Naruto is lucky to have a teacher like you. Iruka's expression was shocked, and he quickly bowed. Yes, this roar was full of guilt and respect for the old man in front of him. When Iruka walked, his back was straight, and as it happens, when he walked out of the Hokage building, he happened to meet Guy, who had returned from his mission. "Senior Guy, hello." Iruka greeted without being humble, and then left straight away. He originally wanted to reason with Senior Guy. Naruto dozes off every day in class, which must be the reason why this senior trains after class. Doing so is unhealthy and is not conducive to development and growth. That Iruka didn't say it. "Sir, third generation, I will talk to Senior Guy well." "Hello?" Guy wanted to say hello, but looking at Iruka's back, he could only scratch his head in embarrassment. "Come to the Hokage office." Guy briefly reported the task. Then, he saw the chalk eraser that Naruto crushed. "Guy, how's Naruto's recent practice?" Third generation asked indifferently. Guy froze for a moment. My mind quickly recalled Naruto sitting on Xiao Li doing push-ups, and Xiao Li running with Naruto on his back, and a series of listless appearances. Naruto has improved a lot, third generation master. Guy gave a thumbs up. I believe, he can already feel the heat of youth. Is that so? Third generation's eyes were clear, and he took another drag on his cigarette. Recently, the matter of Uchiha has occupied most of his energy. So much so that Naruto's growth was ignored. Third generation stared at the chalk eraser on the table. This is a common, pinched chalk eraser, but the information inside is really not small. According to Iruka, as soon as Naruto noticed it, he stood up and apologized. Apologize for doing something wrong. This seems to be the most normal thing. But the problem is, during Anbu monitoring Naruto, it seems that no one has taught Naruto this truth. The villagers have nothing but hatred for him, and Anbu has done anything but watch and protect. Even before Naruto went to school, the goal was to get attention for doing something wrong, instead of apologizing for doing something wrong. As for Guy, third generation has now begun to doubt the image of Guy in Naruto's eyes. Phew. Third generation took a breath. Naruto's change is too big. Too big to ignore. What puzzled third generation the most was that he had no idea what the reason for this change came from. Guy, do you think Naruto has the talent to practice taijutsu? Third generation asked suddenly. Ah? Guy was taken aback for a moment. After school, Naruto slept in for an extra half hour or so. The students on duty left after cleaning the classroom. After the day's events, no one dared to wake Naruto to go home anymore. He didn't wake up until the system prompt sounded. Take your time and walk towards Hokage Rock. A new round of sign-in has begun. It is still open for 1 month to sign in. Naruto had previously suggested that the after-school assembly point be set on Hokage Rock. The reason is something related to youth. The two watermelon heads have no resistance to these two words. Naruto also logically went to sign in once a day to complete the check-in. The distance is not too far. Naruto walked for about 15 minutes, and Xiao Li, who worked hard, had been doing push-ups here for half a day. Seeing Naruto coming over, he stretched out a hand to say hello. But halfway through the movement, he seemed to think of something, and he held back abruptly. He also turned his head in another direction, forehead. Naruto doesn't quite understand. The classmates in the class are fine, but what the hell is Xiao Li? Could it be that the excuse he used to fool Xiao Li to complete the training for him before was figured out by this guy? Impossible. Xiao Li is relatively naive, but not stupid. Excuses and lies can still be distinguished, but at this moment. Konoha. Ah bah! Sneak attack on the whirlwind. Accompanied by a roar, Naruto turned his head to look. His expression gradually became strange. He saw a size 43 with a big foot. It's Guy. But the problem is, Guy seems to have specially changed his clothes today and covered his face. It seems to be a kind of camouflage, self-deception series. Plus the phrase, sneak attack, just now. What is this for? Naruto didn't understand, but his body had reacted instinctively. One sideways, dodging Guy's flying kick. While avoiding, Naruto saw Xiao Li not far away from the corner of his eye. Still doing push-ups not far away, as if deliberately not seeing. Hiding well, then look at my trick. Drink. One hit missed. Guy turned his kick into a chop, raised his leg high and landed hard. Naruto still dodged calmly, but the eyes became more and more puzzled. What are these watermelon-headed mentors and apprentices doing? And at this time, Naruto was startled by the sight that fell on him. Very familiar, from the third generation in front of the crystal ball. After obtaining the first generation project template, the attributes have skyrocketed. Naruto's induction this time can be said to be extremely clear. This moment, combined with Guy and Xiao Li's abnormality, Naruto seems to understand something. Here we go again, Naruto sighed, this kind of day. He's a little tired, here we go again. After beating Sasuke last time, third generation started a series of operations. First let the stubborn guy come to the door. Now, such a situation appeared in front of me again. As soon as Guy's mysterious operation started, third generation looked over. It would be weird to say it was a coincidence, just look at Xiao Li. Guy's actions were obviously aimed at him alone. If it is a test, two people can come together. And Xiao Li is too obvious. There is a fight here, are you still doing push-ups? Whoosh. Naruto dodged Guy's attack again. In my heart, I became inexplicably irritable. Not for Guy, but for the third generation item. Almost got it. You have usurped my parents' inheritance, and I obey. You made the whole village regard me as a poison, and I obeyed. The living expenses of 200 yuan a month are not even comparable to a dog in a noble lady's house, so I agree. You let Guy affect my IQ, so the F*K did I showing a little bit of emotion is brainwashing. Show a little bit of talent to all kinds of temptations. Almost done. Do you have to be like the original body, be a fool all day long, yelling to be Hokage every day, before you can give up? Drink. Guy throws a punch, it's not powerful, but it's fast. He came to test whether Naruto has talent, not to really fight. And Naruto's performance made Guy more and more excited. Sure enough, your youth is also very hot, boy. Guy continued to attack violently. Naruto continued to dodge wildly. However, the depression in my heart became more and more intense. I'm already messed up, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Isn't that enough? Just have to find out some secrets from me? Naruto is also convinced. He just wanted to be quiet and be a good for nothing. Why don't you believe it? Do I have to tear off the seal of the sealed space and let 9 tails come out to breathe? Do I have to blacken it on the spot and be happy when I'm Uzumaki? Oh. Right now 9 tails can't get out, no key. It's useless to blacken at the moment, a broken wall is especially Jonin, I'm afraid he will be pressed to the ground and rubbed. That's fine. You go ahead and be happy. Guy's attack frequency is getting faster and faster. Naruto dodges faster and faster. Guy must have suppressed his strength, but if this continues, Naruto will definitely lose. How about a punch and it's over? Such a thought suddenly popped into Naruto's mind. It can be put down, but so tired. Sleeping in class feels like being named and scolded. You will be scolded for a 0 score in the test. In the actual combat class, even a single shuriken was not allowed and had to be scolded. He didn't dare to fight back when others blocked him after school. It is obvious that you are not afraid of the cold when you go out, so you have to wear an extra coat. The teacher hit him with a chalk box, and he had to be careful not to pinch the chalk box. This feeling of pretending to be trash is really tiring. What if I don't want to pretend anymore? Or, showdown? Snapped. Guy's fist stopped because Naruto extended a hand and took it firmly. Naruto's dead fish eyes are still soulless. Xiao Li, who was secretly watching the battle, widened his eyes. The mouth under Guy's mask grew. In front of the crystal ball, third generation's heartbeat began to speed up. Senior Guy, please, give me your advice. Whoosh. Naruto exploded in speed, bypassing Guy's fist, and kicked straight to Guy's chest with a sideways kick. It is not Naruto who is fighting. In other words, it is the physical instinct that Naruto obtained after using the template of the first generation project. Yes, instinct. In Naruto's subjective consciousness, he did not receive any taijutsu teaching for the purpose of first generation. The physical skills he uses now almost entirely rely on his instinct. Belonging to first Hokage, Senju Hashirama's taijutsu instinct. Naruto figured it out. Don't pretend anymore, showdown. I am a genius. Physical skills are self-taught. If you want to see it, I can show you water style after a while. I can show you all the abilities for the purpose of first generation, except wood style. So, stop watching. Stop trying. If you want to be afraid, be afraid. If you want to concoct it, you will concoct it. Whatever. Lousy doesn't serve you anymore. Ding dong. Successfully placed badly. Salted fish treasure has arrived, 35 bad value. Accompanied by the notification sound of the system, Naruto completely gave up the reserve of a waste. Don't you want to know what's going on with this Nine Tails Jinchuriki? Bring it on. Look, I'll just show you, Naruto realized on the spot. He is showing off, not taking refuge. Why does it have to be garbage? Can't the genius design be broken? Doesn't Shikamaru sleep in class? I learned this move from you, senior guy, after Naruto turned from defense to offense. I don't know if the contrast is too great, Guy didn't adapt. Or maybe Guy didn't dare to push hard for fear of hurting Naruto. Of course, both situations must be both. Naruto gradually came to the upper hand. Find the opportunity to jump, rotate the body and raise the thighs high, and go straight to Guy's face. Konoha. Great whirlwind. This moment, Guy was stunned for a moment, and then his eyes turned red. Really? Really? Third generation did not lie to me, your youth is hotter than I imagined. Although this trick is not yet mature, the action is flawed and not quite standard. Guy could knock Naruto down with one punch right now if he wanted to. But Guy didn't, he even gave up resisting, and took the initiative to bring his face closer. Being hit by the hot youth of a student, and still using his own moves. This is too hot-blooded. Boom. Guy was directly kicked in the face by Naruto, and he was kicked out of the same style of makeup as Sasuke that day on the spot. But Guy obviously underestimated Naruto's strength at this time, and the whole person was kicked out. Naruto landed firmly on the ground, he was panting heavily. He's not tired, and he's having fun. Is this what it feels like to go all out? Don't be careful, and don't have to suppress it. He still has a bunch of water styles that are useless. And at this moment, the third generation in the Hokage building finally recovered from the shock. The hand holding the cigarette trembled slightly. After taking 2 puffs of cigarettes, third generation no longer looked at the crystal ball, but turned to look at the Hokage rock. There, Naruto just finished fighting. There, Yan, the purpose of the fourth generation, overlooks the whole village. Minato. Third generation murmured, his eyes gradually becoming complicated. He should have thought of it earlier. Offspring of geniuses. It can only be a genius. Senior Guy, are you okay? Although he knew that Guy was sure nothing was wrong, Naruto stepped forward to care about it. But before he reached the place, he saw Guy holding a carp, and then flashed in front of him. Naruto. Guy gave Naruto a bear hug. Naruto wanted to struggle, but couldn't push at all. But at this time, the sight of third generation's target disappeared. Naruto was relieved, and Guy was also excited. Naruto. Teacher Guy. Xiao Li also joined in with tears in his eyes. I knew Naruto could do it. I knew it. Tears filled the eyes of the master and apprentice, just like Naruto saved the world. Naruto is caught in the middle and doesn't want to talk. Early at 7 o'clock in the evening, Guy took Naruto and Xiao Li to eat Ichiraku ramen to celebrate Naruto's youthful success ignited. Naruto came home after eating, it was not yet 8 o'clock. Hurry up to take a shower and go to bed, and I can just sign in again today. After taking a shower, Naruto was getting ready for bed. But at this moment, there was a knock on the door. Coming. Naruto exhaled. With his current mental attributes of nearly 1,000, even Embu approached without hiding his breath, and he could detect it. Can reach his door without being discovered. The opponent's strength can be imagined. Who is it? It's me, Naruto. An old and kind voice sounded outside the door. It was the arrival of the third generation. Naruto looked at his watch. 7:45, 15 minutes. It is estimated that the check-in for the last bus tonight will definitely not be enough. Coming. Naruto opens the door. Third generation was smoking a cigarette when he saw Naruto wearing a vest and big pants. His eyes suddenly changed. This kid has grown stronger. It seems that Guy's practice in the past month has indeed achieved remarkable results. Besides, I don't know if I am dazzled. Looking at Naruto up close, third generation seems to see Minato from back then in a trance. It's the listless eyes, and the world-weary face. Come in, Grandpa third generation. Because he just got out of the shower, Naruto dressed more casually. And he's not going to pretend anymore. Physical genius, ninjutsu genius, whatever. Never mind. Anyway, the talent of the fourth generation is there. In fact, there is a lot of room for him to play badly in Showdown. Yes. After Naruto figured it out, he suddenly felt that he had discovered the new world. His skill of smashing the dead seems to have increased a lot. Third generation has just entered the house. The room is fairly tidy. Although Naruto is still lazy now, he doesn't have anything to clean up. Yuanshan's home looks so messy, a large part of the reason is the props used for pranks. He doesn't do that, so it's a lot easier to clean up the house. The most common thing in his house now is instant noodles. You can't eat too much instant noodles, Naruto. Third generation couldn't find a stool after searching for a long time, so they simply stood and talked. He took out an envelope from his pocket and handed it to Naruto. Don't waste money, drink more milk at ordinary times, grow taller. Third generation still didn't forget to smile to himself. Grandpa and I were also in poor conditions back then, otherwise, haha. You're almost as tall as Grandpa. Naruto took the envelope silently. Thank you, Grandpa. Third generation. The feel is still the same as before, it should be a combination of steel coins and copper coins. But this time, Naruto seems to have touched the paper ticket. Hee. Sure enough, I just showed my hand, and the living expenses came up directly. It seems that it was not thorough enough before. Should have thought of it earlier. Blood loss. I often see you in Shaoli running to Hokage Rock after school. I don't go fishing on weekends anymore. I went several times, but I didn't see you. Naruto, have you been practicing recently? Here we go. Third generation asked casually, and Naruto secretly took a breath. Knowing that a person is talking nonsense to your face is actually oppressive. Because if you expose it on the spot, the other side may turn against you directly. Naruto dare not. He is very cowardly, he will shatter when he touches it, and kneel when he touches it. It used to be a waste character design, hiding from everyone. Now it's a genius design, and you have to hide from anyone who should hide. The character design has changed, but the original intention has not changed. Naruto, totally sucks. Yes, Grandpa. Third generation. Senior guy said that I have a talent for martial arts, so he took me and Lee to practice together. I also tested it today. Said that I seem to be very good. Naruto said lightly, and also opened the envelope. It is estimated that there will be no sign-in tonight, so let's take a look at the living expenses for the next month. Yo, there is even a 1,000 tael bill. Naruto raised his eyebrows, and quickly took it out to have a look. Don't waste money, remember to buy more milk. The third generation didn't bother too much with the word physical skills, as if they didn't care at all. He even exhorted Naruto in a serious manner. Got it. Naruto put the money away. I just haven't seen such money, Grandpa. Third generation. That's right. Third generation took a puff of smoke. In the future, if you are short of money, you can come to Hokage building to find me. But don't spend it indiscriminately. You have to abide by the 3 ninja prohibitions. The cloud of smoke covered third generation's tentative eyes. These seemingly ordinary teachings and exhortations actually have a lot to say. Before setting off, third generation specially flipped through the textbooks. In school, Iruka may have taught Naruto the basics of right and wrong, and basic etiquette. But the 3 prohibitions are the content to be studied in the 2nd semester of the 1st grade. Naruto's performance in the past month, although he didn't go to see it often. But face to face again, the purpose of third generation can indeed be confirmed. Naruto has really changed. Is someone secretly guiding Naruto? Can hide from Anbu and evade his detection technique. If so, who would this person be? Many people's information appeared in third generation's mind. The properties are different. Not many people can escape Anbu and his crystal ball technique at the same time. With Danzo, the situation is manageable, but if it's Uchiha, or the masked man who killed the 4th generation. Even, an advanced spy from the enemy village, trying to gain the trust of Jinchuriki. Then the situation is really dangerous. Today's Konoha is at a time when it is green and yellow. The new generation of ninjas has not yet grown up, and this is Konoha's hope. 3 bands? Naruto glanced at the envelope again, and then looked at third generation with a strange expression. He wanted to say it. Just such a small amount of money, will you be paralyzed by the 3 bands? But Naruto held back. After putting the money away, sit obediently and wait for the third generation to speak. You are the boss, you are the boss, you are right in everything you say. The third generation stared at Naruto. For a while, I was a little confused. After a short trial, the third generation project started his big package push of the Will of Fire. It's still the set of ninja school textbooks. Talking about how difficult it was for them back then, the village was full of waste, surrounded by powerful enemies outside the village. Naruto was encouraged again. You must study hard, they didn't learn it back then, they all relied on fighting on the battlefield to learn experience. Naruto listened honestly. On the one hand, he secretly kept an eye on the time. Finally, at exactly 8 o'clock, Naruto gave up. Third generation is still talking about it. I'm afraid I won't be able to catch the last bus for tonight's check-in. This process lasted until 8:30. Maybe it's because third generation is getting older and lacks energy, or maybe it's because so many people are thirsty. Third generation finally got up. Alright, Naruto, it's getting late, so I'll be leaving first. Third generation walked towards the door. Remember, don't waste money. You will learn the 3 prohibitions next semester. That is the basic principle of ninjas. Naruto nodded honestly. However, just when he thought that the third generation project was going to leave, I saw third generation suddenly stop and look at him. This moment, Naruto was startled. Is it because he was acting too outrageous when he fought Guy? Or was his reaction just now too calm? Third generation's paranoia won't make it again. Almost forgot, Naruto. Third generation turned to look at Naruto with a kind smile on his face. In 2 days, it will be your birthday. Is there anything you want this year? As long as it's not too much, I can try to satisfy you as much as possible. Naruto was taken aback after hearing this. Soon, he was relieved. I thought about it carefully. Do you want something? Don't say it, there really is. And not a lot. Really? Really, Grandpa third generation? Naruto asks. Of course. Third generation smiled. After talking tonight, third generation may already know the reason for Naruto's change. Indeed, he should have thought too much. The kid seemed indifferent to everything. But he was able to listen patiently to what he had been talking about for so long. If it is maliciously guided by someone with a heart, then at the very least, it will show some resistance. It's just a kid. No matter how early the mind develops, it is still only 6 years old. If you have a rebellious mind, you can't hide it. Wasn't his son Asuma like that back then? If he refuses to talk, any instruction will be long-winded in his ears, and he can't wait to not listen to a word. The child has been spoiled by his mother since childhood. It was not until the death of his mother Lake Biwa that he finally woke up. Volunteering to go to the land of fire to serve as a guardian ninja, it can be regarded as promising. But Naruto is different. The harsh environment since childhood, coupled with his guidance. Although this child is still young, his mental development has gradually matured. Among other things, at least she is very independent and able to take good care of herself. As for being listless all day, perhaps it is because of the loss in my heart. This is unavoidable, but the problem is not big, and the days to come will be long. What gift do you want? You can just say it, Naruto. Take it as your gift for the beginning of school. Remember to study hard in the future and don't let Iruka worry about it. Naruto froze for a moment. Since you said so. Then, I'm not polite. I want some money, Grandpa third generation. Naruto lifted his vest. Autumn is here, winter is coming, it's time to lick clothes. And I found out that last year's clothes can't fit anymore. I want to buy some clothes to wear. Very simple request. This child has indeed grown up a lot. Whether mental or developmental. Yes. Third generation nodded, and was about to take money out of his pocket. I also want to change 2 pairs of shoes, they are too small. Dot and Mr. Guy made us run all day, this pair is about to break. Naruto pointed to the small broken shoes in the room again. Third generation glanced at him and nodded again. Okay, what else, Naruto? If I can, I'd like to change the quilt, it's all torn. Third generation stared blankly. Also, the house needs to be repaired, the window can't be closed all the time, and the faucet keeps shutting off the water. It still makes strange noises at night, as if someone is running on the roof. Naruto gushed. Some time ago I always felt that someone was staring at me, which made me sleep badly at night. When I dozed off in class, teacher Iruka would scold me. Naruto sighed. I also experienced the thrill of performing with a paralyzed face. In fact, what Naruto said, the system can be bought. Clothes and pants, quilts and shoes, all have systems. Naruto felt it all the time. Aside from those sky-high prices, the living area of the system mall is the most suitable for him. Daily necessities, household furniture, clothing and shoes, fast food and bento. In addition to not selling a house, everything has. But Naruto must not dare to ask for another house. He was afraid that third generation would just pat his ass and leave, and on his birthday, he would give him another Will of Fire book. Is that so? Third generation frowned. Naruto's request is not too much, it sounds like a lot, but in fact it doesn't cost a few dollars at all. At most it is a bounty for a C-level mission, but the third generation project does not care about these. Some time ago, was it after the old man withdrew Anbu? Really, there are still people in the village, watching Naruto's. Third generation had a faint decision in mind. No problem, what you said will be delivered in 2 days. Relax. Third generation readily agreed to Naruto's request for a birthday present. Naruto also bowed decisively. Thank you very much, Grandpa Third generation. Third generation raised his eyebrows, turned and left without stopping. He has roughly adapted to the current Naruto. No longer mischievous, but the spirit of eccentricity is still there. I've been listless all day long, but in fact I'm very talented and I'm working hard silently. It seems that it is somewhat similar to Kakashi. Thinking of Kakashi, third generation couldn't help but sigh. The current Kakashi, before coming out of the darkness, is still not suitable for touching Naruto.